should take it easy like a Sunday morning, shouldn't we? Now, SAMRO Foundation announced the winners of the annual Overseas Scholarship Competition. This year's edition of the competition was looking for composers. Now, the competition rotates between instrumentalists, between singers, keyboard players, and of course, composers over a 4-year cycle. Led by the SAMRO Foundation, since its inception, it has awarded over 60 scholarships to help boost the careers of many young musicians and composers. And to tell us more, we're joined by the winners as announced yesterday, Conrad and Andrew. A very good morning to you, gentlemen, and congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
What
good
a
morning.
huge milestone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to start with you, Andrew. What does it mean for you as a musician? And just briefly take us through the category that you won.
Right, so I won the jazz slash popular music category, coming first in that category, and yeah, it's a really great honor. I'm very grateful to the support from SAMRO. I had a lot of bursary support from them when I was an undergrad student, and it's really great to be at this point in my career as a composer of various types of music for media, and I'm really looking forward to using this scholarship opportunity to sort of broaden my horizons and learn some new things overseas.
Okay, the tune that we were just listening now in the background, you got it from a video game?
Yeah, so the Bombero Suite, I composed those themes, that music, as part of a video game soundtrack that I created the score for earlier this year.
Wow.
Called Flashpoint Fire Rescue, and yeah, so all that music comes from a video game that I worked on.
Wow. And Conrad, what does it mean for you as a musician to have won this accolade?
Well,
and just take us through the category that you won.
So for me, I was lucky enough to be the winner of the Western Classical section of the SAMRO Scholarship. And for me, it's such a wonderful start to hopefully a positive career in composition, and sort of to take composition from one level of doing it just as an undergraduate, in a learning environment, and now taking it to the professional level. And I think SAMRO is a great body that sort of looks after their composers and sort of manages their early career and their career and so forth.
So what pushed you to join this competition, and do you think it's a great catalyst for you to grow as a musician?
I decided to enter the competition because I thought it would be a good starting off. I wasn't aware of any sort of prize or anything. For me, it was about writing new pieces and getting myself out there, and I mean, to get the coverage and to sort of put my work out there and to get it performed.
Briefly, just how do you describe your sound?
Oh, to describe my sound is always a difficult question, I think, for any composer. I think I come from a Western classical background. My music, I grew up in Johannesburg and had lots of training from a classical point of view. However, I'm still very much influenced by jazz and by Afro-pop and all different types of musical styles. So, yeah, I would say my sound is yet to be labeled.
Okay. How would you describe your sound, Andrew?
My sound, well, I studied at UCT, and my degree was a jazz composition degree. So I took classical theory and orchestration, as well as jazz arrangement and jazz theory. So I've written works for symphonic orchestra, as well as small jazz ensembles. So I would say my sound is a little bit of a fusion between jazz and classical. One of the pieces that I performed last night, not the one that was played just before this interview, the Kind of Cool piece, I think that would describe my style quite well. It's a fusion of the jazz and the classical elements, sort of in the style of Miles Davis, Gil Evans, and that's hopefully I can be remembered for my kind of sound like that.
Musically, who do you look up to in this industry?
In this industry, so I aspire to be and have done some work within the media composition sort of industry, and so there are a number of composers who I looked up to in terms of film composition. Michael Giacchino, I would say, is one who I greatly admire. He did the score for The Incredibles, as well as Jurassic World. Obviously John Williams, fantastic. And then, of course, all of the South African composers that I have studied under over the years. Okay. Very grateful for all of their.
So, are you looking to expand into the international music scene in the near future?
Yes, I would like to get myself out there. And one of the things that I would potentially do with the scholarship is to try get myself to Los Angeles, okay. And perhaps in turn with a number of film composers that I have contact with there. Yeah.
Okay, so where do you see yourself in 5 years?
For me, I would really like to be able to have completed postgraduate studies, either that being a master's or a postgraduate diploma, overseas, which is also my plans for this scholarship, either in the UK or Paris or the United States. And then hopefully working on some plans to further my studies or to start with some early commissioning work overseas.
Okay, yeah, but being the gem that you are, how would you think studying or enrolling for a music course will help define and, refine and shape your career?
I think for me, studying overseas in a music degree is not only just about composing pieces and going through the theory work and doing that, but it's also about meeting people and meeting all different types of artists and musicians who approach this craft from all different types of point of view. You have people coming from different backgrounds and have different style influences, and that for me is almost even more important, because then that is the thing that shapes your style and your sound in the business.
All right. Gents, thank you so much for chatting to us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Yeah. That was Conrad Asman and Andrew Hall, the winners of the SAMRO Overseas Scholarship. Now this year, SAMRO will see each winner go overseas and pursue postgraduate music studies or professional development. Let's go for an air break now.